I never thought I would be the kind of man who checks his wife's phone. But there I was sitting in our living room at 2 in the morning, watching it buzz with messages from a number I did not recognize. 12 years of marriage, 12 years of trust, and it all came down to this moment. Sarah was asleep upstairs, or at least I thought she was. The screen lit up again. My hands trembled as I reached for it. What I found that night changed everything. Before I tell you what happened next, I would love to know where you are watching from. Drop your location in the comments below. If this story resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what unfolded after that night is something I never saw coming, and neither will you. My name is Bertram, and I met Sarah at a rock concert in Austin, Texas when we were both 23. She was dancing near the stage, her hair wild and free, completely lost in the music. I was captivated instantly. We talked for hours after the show, sitting on the hood of my beat-up truck, sharing stories about our dreams and fears. She wanted to change the world through marketing. I wanted to build software that mattered. We were young, ambitious, and deeply in love. We got married 2 years later in a small ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. We bought a house in the suburbs, planted a garden, and built a life together. Our son Dylan came along 3 years into our marriage. Watching Sarah hold him for the first time, I knew I had everything I ever wanted. She was an incredible mother, balancing her career with family life effortlessly. I worked as a software engineer from home, which gave me flexibility to help with Dylan and household responsibilities. Life was not perfect, but it was good. We had our routines. Dinner together every night. Movie nights on Fridays. Weekend camping trips when the weather was nice. Dylan was growing into a smart, curious kid who loved soccer and building things with Legos. Sarah worked hard at her marketing job, and I was proud of her dedication. We supported each other. We were a team. But about 6 months ago, things started to shift. Sarah got promoted to marketing director at her firm. It was a huge achievement, and I was genuinely thrilled for her. She had worked incredibly hard to get there. The promotion came with new responsibilities, longer hours, and a new team. One of her new colleagues was a guy named Kyle, the creative director. Sarah mentioned him casually at first, talking about campaign ideas and client presentations. Then the late nights started. Sarah began coming home at 9, then 10, sometimes even 11 at night. She always had a reason. A big campaign, an important client meeting, a team dinner that ran long. I understood the pressure she was under. I really did. I took care of Dylan, helped with homework, made dinner, did bedtime routines. I wanted to support her success. But other changes came with the late nights. Sarah started dressing differently for work. More stylish, more put together. She changed her hairstyle, got highlights, bought expensive perfume I had never seen before. She joined a gym and went before work. Again, I tried to be supportive. Maybe she was feeling more confident in her new role. Maybe she wanted to look the part of a director. What bothered me more was the emotional distance. Sarah stopped sharing details about her day. When I asked about work, her answers were vague and brief. She seemed distracted during dinner, constantly checking her phone. She stopped asking about my projects or showing interest in Dylan's soccer games. The warmth between us cooled. Our conversations became transactional. Did you pay the electric bill? What time is Dylan's practice? Can you pick up groceries? The intimacy disappeared too. We went from making love regularly to maybe once a month, and even then it felt mechanical. When I tried to initiate, Sarah was always too tired or too stressed. I told myself it was the new job. The pressure would ease eventually. Things would go back to normal. But deep down I knew something was wrong. Call it intuition or gut feeling. Something fundamental had shifted in our marriage, and I could not quite put my finger on it. One night I woke up around 1 in the morning to use the bathroom. As I walked past the living room, I saw light from downstairs. I went down quietly and found Sarah on the couch, illuminated by her phone screen. She was smiling, typing quickly, letting out soft giggles. I had not seen her smile like that in months. I cleared my throat. She jumped, nearly dropping her phone, her face flushing red. "You scared me," she said, quickly locking the screen. "Sorry. Could not sleep." "What are you doing up?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Just a funny meme from the team group chat," she said too quickly. "You know how it is. Work stuff." I nodded, but my stomach tightened. Group chat messages at 1 in the morning. That smile, I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But every instinct screamed that she was lying. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing more things. Sarah's phone was always face down on the table. She changed her passcode. She took calls in another room, speaking in hushed tones. She jumped whenever I walked into a room unexpectedly. The trust that had been the foundation of our marriage was crumbling, and I felt powerless to stop it. I decided to talk to her directly. One Saturday evening after we put Dylan to bed, I asked her to sit with me in the living room. My heart pounded as I searched for the right words. "Sarah, is everything okay?" I started gently. "You seem really distant lately. I feel like we barely talk anymore." Her body language immediately went defensive. Arms crossed, jaw tight. "What are you talking about? The late nights. The secrecy with your phone. You are not present even when you are home. I miss you. I miss us." Her eyes flashed with anger. "Are you serious right now? I am working my ass off at this job, and this is the support I get." "Accusations. I am not accusing you of anything. I am just saying I feel disconnected from you. I want to understand what is going on. What is going on is that I finally have a career that challenges me, that values me. But apparently you cannot handle me being successful. You are insecure, Bertram. That is what this is really about." Her words stung. Was I being insecure? Was I imagining things? The way she turned everything around on me made me question my own perception. "Maybe you are right," I said quietly. "Maybe I am overreacting. I am sorry." She softened slightly. "Look, I know I have been busy. This transition has been hard. I will try to be home earlier. I will try to be more present." "Okay." I nodded, wanting desperately to believe her. "Okay. Thank you." She went to bed and I sat alone in the dark, wondering if I had just made a fool of myself. But the uneasy feeling in my gut would not go away. 2 weeks after our conversation, nothing changed. In fact, things got worse. Sarah stayed out even later. She started having overnight trips, a client meeting in Dallas, a conference in Houston. She was gone more than she was home. Dylan started asking why his mom did not come to his soccer games anymore. How do you explain to a 9-year-old that his mother is choosing work over him without breaking his heart? I called my buddy Marcus, a former colleague, who had become one of my closest friends. We met for coffee while Dylan was at school. I told him everything. The late nights, the secrecy, the emotional distance, the fight we had. Marcus listened carefully, then leaned back and sighed. "Man, you need to find out for sure. This is eating you alive. Either she is having an affair, and you need to know, or she is not, and you can stop torturing yourself. But this limbo, it is killing you. How do I find out without looking like a paranoid husband? You already look like a paranoid husband to her. At this point, you need evidence one way or another." His words haunted me. He was right. I could not keep living like this, constantly anxious, constantly suspicious. I needed to know the truth. The opportunity came on a Friday afternoon. Sarah had rushed out for a meeting, leaving her laptop open on the kitchen counter. She never left it open, ever. I stared at it for a long moment, my conscience warring with my desperation. This was wrong. This was a violation of privacy. But what if she was lying to me? What if my family was falling apart and I was the only one fighting to save it? I sat down and opened her email. My hands shook as I scrolled through her inbox. Work emails, promotional emails, nothing suspicious. Then I saw a folder labeled personal. I clicked on it. The first email I opened made my blood run cold. It was from Kyle. The subject line was, "Missing you already." I opened it. "Baby, last night was incredible. I cannot stop thinking about you. I hate that we have to sneak around, but it makes every moment we steal together that much sweeter. Cannot wait to have you all to myself this weekend in Colorado. Tell Bertram whatever you need to tell him. You are mine now." My vision blurred. I scrolled up. There were dozens of emails between them, photos, intimate selfies, messages calling each other baby babe, my love, plans for secret meetups, hotel reservations. I opened another one from Sarah. "I know, I hate lying to him too, but I cannot give you up. You make me feel alive again in ways I forgot were possible. He is a good man, but he does not understand me like you do. Our life together has become so boring, so settled. With you, I feel like myself again." I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. My wife, the woman I had loved for 12 years, the mother of my child, had been having an affair for 4 months. 4 months. And I had been completely blind. I read through more messages, each one a fresh knife wound. They had been sleeping together since shortly after her promotion. They met at hotels. They had inside jokes. They talked about a future together. Kyle was married too, but according to the messages, his marriage was dead, and he planned to leave his wife. I closed the laptop and sat in stunned silence. The house felt too quiet, too empty. Everything I thought I knew about my life was a lie. Sarah came home at 8 that evening. I was sitting at the kitchen table, her laptop in front of me, open to the email folder. When she walked in and saw me, the color drained from her face. "We need to talk," I said, my voice surprisingly calm. "Now." She looked at the laptop, then at me. "Bertram, I can explain. Who is Kyle, and how long have you been sleeping with him?" She opened her mouth, then closed it. "It is not what it looks like." I turned the laptop toward her. "Really? Because these emails make it pretty clear what it looks like. So I will ask again. How long?" She sank into a chair, her defiance crumbling. 4 months, she whispered. 4 months. I repeated the words, trying to make them real. "You have been lying to me, sleeping with another man for 4 months. It just happened. I did not plan it. Kyle and I connected on a project and things just developed. Things just developed. You made choices, Sarah. Every time you lied about where you were. Every time you texted him instead of talking to me. Every time you climbed into bed with him. Those were choices." Tears streamed down her face, but I felt numb. "I know. I am sorry. I am so sorry." "Are you? Or are you just sorry you got caught?" She had no answer for that. "I read your messages. You told him our marriage is boring. That I do not understand you. That you cannot give him up." I was confused. "I did not mean those things." "Yes, you did. That is the problem. You meant every word." I stood up, needing distance from her. "I begged you to talk to me. I told you I felt you pulling away. And you made me feel crazy for even asking. You gaslit me, Sarah. You made me doubt my own reality while you were sneaking around behind my back. I know. I was wrong. I was so wrong. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling. I will end things with Kyle. Please, Bertram. Think about Dylan." "I am thinking about Dylan. I have been thinking about Dylan this whole time. While you were too busy with your affair to show up to his soccer games. While you were lying to both of us." She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Please do not throw away 12 years. Do not destroy our family." She shook her head, fresh tears falling. "I do not know if I want to fix this." The words hit me like a freight train. "What are you saying? I need space. I need time to think. I feel trapped in this marriage, Bertram. Maybe this is my way of saying, I am not happy." "So you want out. You want to be with Kyle. I do not know what I want. But I know I cannot breathe right now." I stepped closer to her, my voice breaking. "Sarah, please. Do not throw away everything we built. Kyle is your co-worker. He is married. This will not end well. You are walking into a disaster." Her eyes flashed with anger. "Stay out of it. This is my life. My choice. What about Dylan's life? What about the vows we made? Maybe those vows do not mean what they used to." She stood up, grabbed her purse. "I am going upstairs to pack some things. I am staying at a hotel for a while." "You are leaving." Just like that, I need to clear my head. "I will be back for Dylan this weekend." I watched her walk upstairs, my heart shattering into 1,000 pieces. 20 minutes later, she came down with a suitcase. Dylan had woken up from the noise and stood at the top of the stairs in his pajamas. "Where are you going, Mom?" His voice was small and scared. Sarah climbed halfway up the stairs and hugged him. "Mommy needs to go away for a little while, baby. But I will be back soon, I promise." Why, tears rolled down his cheeks. "Grown-up stuff, sweetie. But I love you so much." "Okay." She kissed his forehead and walked out the door without looking back at me. I heard her car start and drive away. Dylan ran down the stairs and into my arms, sobbing. I held him tight, my own tears finally coming. The next 3 days were a blur. Dylan asked about his mom constantly. I gave vague answers, trying to shield him from the ugliness of what was happening. Sarah did not answer my calls or texts. I messaged her, pleading with her to reconsider, to at least talk things through. Nothing. Marcus came over with food and moral support. "Stop begging her, man. She made her choice. Now you need to protect yourself and your son." His words were harsh, but true. I could not keep waiting for Sarah to decide whether our family was worth saving. I needed to take control of my own life. I called a divorce lawyer named Patricia Thompson, highly recommended by a friend. She listened to my story, took notes, and gave me her professional assessment. You need to document everything, Patricia said. Print those emails. Screenshot any messages. We need a record of the affair. It will help in the divorce proceedings. I still hope she will come back. Maybe this is just a phase. Patricia gave me a sympathetic look. Bertram, I have been doing this for 20 years. Affairs like this rarely work out. But regardless of what happens with her and Kyle, you need to protect yourself legally. File for divorce first. Do not let her control the narrative. I hesitated. Filing for divorce felt so final, like I was giving up. But then I got a text from Sarah. I think we should separate officially. I am not happy anymore. That was it. No apology. No willingness to fight for us. Just a cold statement that she was done. The woman I loved for 12 years had decided our marriage was over via text message. I called Patricia back. Let's file. 1 week later, Sarah received the divorce papers. She called me immediately, her voice furious. You filed for divorce. Are you kidding me right now? I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. You said you wanted to separate. I am giving you what you want. I did not mean it like that. I just needed space to figure things out. You have been figuring things out with Kyle for 4 months, Sarah. You moved out. You told me you were not happy. What did you expect me to do? Wait around indefinitely while you decide whether to come back. But divorce. That is so extreme. Maybe we can work something out. Maybe we can try counseling. I tried to talk to you. Multiple times. You walked away. You chose Kyle over your family. Now, you are upset that I am not waiting around for you anymore. There was a long silence on the other end. I made a mistake, Bertram. Yes, you did. And now we both have to live with the consequences. Can we at least meet and talk about this face to face? My lawyer will contact you. Everything goes through her now. I hung up before she could respond. My hands were shaking, but I felt a strange sense of clarity. I had spent weeks begging Sarah to stay to choose us. Now I was choosing myself and Dylan. It hurt, but it also felt right. 2 weeks passed. The divorce proceedings moved forward. Patricia was professional and efficient. Sarah tried calling a few more times, but I did not answer. I needed space from her to heal, to process everything that had happened. Then at 11 o'clock on a random Tuesday night, someone pounded on my front door. I opened it to find Sarah standing there. Makeup-smeared eyes, red, and swollen hair disheveled. She looked broken. "Can I come in?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Against my better judgment, I stepped aside. She walked into the living room and collapsed on the couch, sobbing into her hands. I sat across from her, waiting. "Kyle dumped me," she finally said. I felt no satisfaction, just a deep, sad weariness. What happened? His wife found out. She went through his phone and found all our messages. She threatened to take everything in the divorce. His house, his savings, custody of their kids. Kyle panicked. He told me we were done, that it was a mistake, that he was staying with his wife. He blocked my number. He will not talk to me. I am sorry you are hurting. She looked up at me, hope flickering in her eyes. You are. I never wanted you to get hurt, Sarah, even after everything. The company fired me too. They said my relationship with Kyle violated company policy. I lost my job, Bertram. I lost everything. She moved closer to me, reaching for my hands. I made a terrible mistake, the worst mistake of my life. But I realize now what I had. I realize what I lost. Please, can we start over? I will do anything. Anything. I gently pulled my hands away. Sarah, I begged you. I got on my knees and begged you not to do this. I warned you that Kyle was using you, that this would not end well. You ignored every red flag. You told me to stay out of your life. But I love you. I see that now. Kyle meant nothing. He was just a fantasy. You are real. Our family is real. If he meant nothing, you would not have risked everything for him. You made your choice. You chose excitement over stability. You chose lies over truth. You chose him over me and Dylan. And now that it blew up in your face, you want to come back. Please, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. I know I do not deserve it, but please give me another chance. I stood up, looking down at her. For 12 years, this woman had been my everything. But the person sitting on my couch was a stranger. Someone who had hurt me and our son in ways I was still trying to comprehend. I loved you with everything I had, I said quietly. I would have done anything for you. But you killed that love with every lie, every betrayal. You did not just cheat on me physically. You checked out of our marriage emotionally long before Kyle came into the picture. You stopped seeing me as a partner and started seeing me as an obstacle to your happiness. That is not true. Yes, it is. And the saddest part, I was willing to fight for us. But you have to want to be fought for. You did not. You made your choice. Now I am making mine. She dropped to her knees sobbing. Please do not do this. I cannot lose you. I cannot lose Dylan. You already did. The moment you decided your happiness was more important than your family, I am sorry you are hurting. I really am. But I cannot fix this for you. You need to leave Sarah. Where am I supposed to go? That is not my responsibility anymore. My lawyer will be in touch about custody arrangements for Dylan. But you and I, we are done. She stayed on her knees for another minute crying. Then slowly she stood up and walked to the door. She turned back one more time. I am sorry, she whispered. I know you are. But sorry does not undo what you did. She left. I closed the door and locked it. Then I sat on the floor and cried for the marriage that died, for the trust that was shattered, for the future we would never have. The divorce was finalized 6 months later. It was not easy. There were hard conversations about custody, about assets, about how to tell Dylan what was happening. Sarah and I agreed on joint custody with Dylan, primarily living with me during the school year, and spending weekends and holidays with Sarah. The first few months were brutal. I went to therapy to process the betrayal, the anger, the grief. Dylan went to counseling too, working through his feelings about his parents splitting up. Some nights I heard him crying in his room and it broke my heart all over again. But slowly, gradually, we found our new normal. I threw myself into being the best father I could be. I coached Dylan's soccer team. We went fishing on weekends. We built elaborate Lego cities together. We learned to cook new recipes, turning dinner into an adventure rather than a chore. We talked about his feelings about change, about how families can look different but still be full of love. Marcus checked in on me regularly, dragging me out for drinks or basketball games when I got too isolated. You did the right thing, brother, he told me more than once. You chose your dignity. You chose your son. That takes courage. I started going to the gym not to impress anyone, but because it helped clear my head. I reconnected with old friends I had neglected during the crisis. I picked up hobbies I had set aside. I remembered who I was before I became consumed with saving a marriage that was already dead. Sarah moved to another city for a fresh start. She found a new job, though not at the same level as before. She tried to rebuild her relationship with Dylan through video calls and visits. It was awkward at first, but kids are resilient. Dylan adjusted. He knew his mom loved him, even if she had made terrible choices. Sarah tried to reach out to me a few times, wanting to talk, wanting closure. I kept firm boundaries. We communicated only about Dylan, only through text or email. I did not hate her. I just had nothing left to say to her. 1 year after the divorce, I was putting Dylan to bed when he asked me a question that caught me off guard. Dad, are you happy now? I thought about it carefully. Yeah, buddy, I am. Are you most of the time? I miss when we were all together, but I like our new life too. You smile more now. His words hit me hard. I had not realized how much my pain had been visible to him before. I am glad you noticed. I do feel lighter. What happened with you and Mom? Like really happened. I chose my words carefully. Your mom and I wanted different things. We grew apart. And instead of talking about it and working on it together, she made choices that hurt our family. But that does not mean she does not love you. She does, very much. She just lost her way for a while. Do you still love her? I will always care about her, because she is your mom. But no, I do not love her the way I used to. And that is okay. Sometimes people change, and love changes too. He nodded, processing. I love you, Dad. I love you too, kiddo. More than anything in the world. After he fell asleep, I sat on my back porch looking up at the stars. I thought about everything I had learned over the past year, about trust and betrayal, about love and loss, about having the courage to walk away from someone who does not value you. I learned that you cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. I gave Sarah every chance, every warning, but she chose to ignore them all. She had to hit rock bottom to see what she lost, and by then it was too late. I learned that sometimes love is not enough. You can love someone with your whole heart, but if they do not choose you back, if they do not fight for you, then you have to let go. I learned that the best revenge is not revenge at all. It is building a better life without the person who hurt you. It is finding peace within yourself. It is choosing happiness over bitterness. I do not hate Sarah. I pity her. Because she had everything, and threw it away for something that was never real. She traded genuine love for a fantasy, and now she has to live with that choice. As for me, I am okay. Some days are harder than others, but I have my son. I have my self-respect. I have a future that is mine to shape however I want, and that is more than enough. If you are in a similar situation, ask yourself this. Are you fighting for someone who already gave up? Are you ignoring red flags because you are scared of being alone? Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let go and choose yourself. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to walk away from someone you loved because they did not value what you had? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might help someone else who is going through this right now. If this story resonated with you, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more real-life stories. Share this with someone who might need to hear it. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it brought you some comfort, some clarity, or at least the reminder that you deserve to be chosen. You deserve to be loved fully. And if someone cannot give you that, you have every right to walk away and find your peace. Take care of yourselves out there. You are stronger than you think.